What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode here on the Community Chest channel, the junk removal service that's taking you from trash out to cash out. I hope everybody out there had an absolutely awesome Thanksgiving holiday, and you know, when we're talking about reselling and Thanksgiving, the next thing that comes up into the conversation is Black Friday as well as Cyber Monday. Well guys, this Black Friday we had an incredible sales day. Just alone, we had more sales than we typically do over an entire weekend. On Black Friday alone, we had just under 30 sales, nearly $2,000 in net sales, and it was an awesome experience. Last year when I was getting into reselling and Black Friday hit, I didn't see much of a huge increase in sales, but this year, now that I have everything kind of going where I need to in the right direction, we saw a tremendous boost in sales. Hopefully we keep that trend going towards Q4 and the rest of Christmas. If you guys like this content where we talk about the different types of items that we sold and where we got them from and how we go about our selling process, be sure to press that like and subscribe button as well as that little bell notification so that you're notified every single time we drop a new piece of content. We drop these videos every single Monday and we're always coming up with new ideas. Alright guys, so let's get straight into it. Our first product of the Black Friday sales was this Miami Hurricanes collegiate hoodie. This is something we picked up on $2 day over at Bargain Bins. If you guys don't know about Bargain Bins, they are kind of like a liquidation store where they get pallets and pallets of goods and they kind of redistribute them on these massive bins, and the price is lower by each day. So on the first day, which is Friday, they have all their items priced at $8 each. Then throughout the week, each day the price drops until they go all the way to $1 day. It's a fantastic deal for us, as well as a pretty cool experience as you're rummaging through all sorts of products to find stuff that you really like. With that being said, this jacket we paid for on $2 day, so we paid just $2 plus tax for it, and it was brand new with tags, still in the factory packaging, and I know this is going to make an excellent gift, which is exactly what we're looking for in this Q4 time. This jacket sold in about a week for us for $31.41 all into the buyer. And this next item we picked up from a junk removal service. This was the vintage 1980s Heine Winery Vineyards t-shirt, and I knew this item was old and vintage for a few reasons. First off, if we take a look at the tag here, this is the Screen Stars tag. It's got Made in USA with it, and this is what an authentic vintage Screen Stars tag looks like. Shirts that are on these tags are usually going to be worth a lot more than other vintage stuff, just because Screen Stars is like the main vintage tag brand that everybody looks for. Another reason this shirt is vintage and has value is if you were to feel it, the material is super thin on this bad boy. It's paper thin. A normal shirt almost feels like it's double the thickness of this shirt. It's that thin. And the third reason I know that this shirt is vintage and it does have value is if you look at the sleeves, it's actually going to be single stitched and not double stitched. I'll throw a quick example up here on the screen so you can see, but take that with a grain of salt as well, because not all vintage tees are single stitched and not all modern tees are dual stitched. They definitely are going to be some exceptions if we're talking about different materials, as well as different brands like to do different things. Also coming from a junk removal service, we have this vintage roulette gambling game kit. This was a really cool find for us because it came from the basement of one of the houses we were cleaning out. When we stumbled upon it, it was the box itself actually had some wear to it. You could tell it had some shelf life or store wear. But when we opened it, everything inside of it was brand new, sealed, never been used. All the die were still sealed in the original packaging. So I knew that this item most likely was given to the family as a gift, and they stored it away and probably forgot I had it until they sold the house. I love picking up items like this because it kind of goes to show that you never really know what you even have until you go look at it, as well as you don't know how much value you have until you hire me to sell it for you. So since this item was a junk removal pickup, we were $0 invested into it, and we were able to turn around and sell it for $53.63 all into the buyer. This next item is a perfect example of something that will sell super well during this Q4 season. Up next we have the Cobra RAD radar detector. This is a detector for detecting speed guns in cop cars as well as other utility vehicles. This radar detector is also not one of the super high-end models, because if you don't know, some of those radar detectors can really go for upwards of $1,000, but this is more of the entry-level model, nothing high-end or high-tech. It's kind of a simpler model, something you get as your first or second radar detector. With that being said, we did pick this up at Bargain Bins. It was on $8 a day, so we did pay up for it, but but I knew with the type of item being that it is, it's going to sell like that as a gift for somebody, especially during Christmas season. So with that being said, we paid $8 for it and we were able to turn around and sell it for $46.74 all within a week. This next one is a bit of a bolo. If you guys don't know, car parts, or for that matter any real parts or accessories to heavy duty equipment, sells really well on eBay. The main reason for that being said is because manufacturers charge outrageous prices for these pieces and parts being brand new, coming straight from the manufacturer. So what a lot of other lower mom and pop shops or people who aren't retailers, what they'll do is they'll go buy these parts on eBay for much cheaper than paying the retail prices at manufacturer, and that way it's a win-win for both the end buyer as well as us, the middleman wholesaler. So with that being said, we did pick up this Dodge Cummins OEM injector tubes. It was a lot of 6 of them. They were brand new, sealed in the box, and I almost missed them when I was over at Bargain Bins because the box itself was like this big. Tiny little box. We went on $2 day, which is an awesome day to pick up smaller items because the bins are starting to get filled with all those tiny little 10-cent items, things that aren't really worth much. So when you're able to really dig there and spend time, you can find some huge come-ups. So with that being said, we paid $2 for these car parts and we were able to flip them within a week for $46.74 all into the buyer. And if you thought that was interesting, just wait till you see this next item that we sold. I don't even know if I can show like a legit picture of it because of what it is. But anyways, this also came from Bargain Bins on the $8 day. We picked up this adult toy, as I'm gonna call it. I'll blur this picture so you can kind of at least see what it was, but you get the idea of exactly what it was. And this was new in the box as well. I'll make sure nobody gets that pre-owned stuff. You know how that is. That would be interesting. I don't even think they allow that kind of stuff on eBay, and I was shocked to even see that they allow new stuff like, you know, toys like this on eBay. But we were able to buy it and sold pretty quick for us, so we paid $8 and it sold for $63.88 all into the buyer. Alright, this next item is actually our oldest item of the week. We sold this vintage 1970s Jody's Horse and Farm play kit. Now, like I said, this is from the 70s, so it's extremely old, but I was shocked to see that everything was still there in the box with the instruction kit. This item did come from a junk removal service. We had a ton of different games, board games, and stuff that was still new, sealed in the box, some old vintage video games, a Coleco, all sorts of cool stuff, and this was one of them. It's kind of interesting to think about that this is what actually children used to play with back in the day, and nowadays they just go on TikTok and... But anyways, this item came from a junk removal service, so you know we were $0 invested into it, and we turned around and sold it for $96.92 all into the buyer. This was a bit of a long-term item for us. It did take about 5 months to sell since listing, but sometimes for vintage unique items like that, it is gonna take a little bit longer because you're not hitting as big of an audience of buyers. Someone who's buying that item is looking for that specific item in a specific condition if it's antique. So with that being said, we were happy to wait and take our money when we can. Alright guys, and the moment you've all been waiting for, it is our Black Friday sale of the week. We have coming in right at around $237.96 plus shipping to the buyer. We have our Google Nest Wi-Fi router with 2 additional add-on points. This came from a local buyout with my man Joe. Joe, if you're watching this, a big shout out to you. I really appreciate you hitting me up, and anybody else who wants to hit me up for consigning or selling, feel free to send us a DM on Instagram or send us an email at info@communitychest.com, and we'd love to see what you got and work with you there. So the reason this is such a great item is not only just because of the type of item it is, it's electronic, it's in great condition, as well as the original retail value is high, it's also the type of product it is. So it's a Google Wi-Fi router, which is really highly sought after, and they have excellent reviews across the board. With that being said, Wi-Fi routers are something that people upgrade consistently, whether it be every year, every couple years, every time you move places, but it's something that people buy repetitively. So they're always going to be either up for sale older versions, or people are always going to have to upgrade to the newest version. How do you expect people to play the PS5 and keep up with their high-end gaming stuff when they have a super slow router and can't even get a good internet connection? And there you have it! That's gonna do it for us this week on our Black Friday special of We Sold That. We drop these videos every Monday, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and press that little bell notification so that you're notified every single time we drop a new piece of content. I love talking to you guys about what kind of things we sold so you could get an idea of the market, of the different types of categories we sell, how we sell stuff, any bolos or tips that we put out along the way, as well as we're gonna be rolling out a whole bunch of new content, so be sure you are staying tuned and subscribe to our channel. Till next time, I'm Nick. Have a wonderful week, guys. Peace out.
She said she got a couple questions that she needed to know.